So my name is Sam Eggert. I'm a senior journalism major at the University of New Hampshire.
My name is Madailein Hart. I'm a senior here at UNH.
I cook to feed myself. I like to cook a lot. Sometimes I get pretty lazy with it.
I would say prior to the pandemic, I cooked about twice a week, 3 times a week, and then the rest of the time I would either get takeout or I would just have leftovers. I like to keep it for the most part simple. I made my pie the other day, which was a little complex, but other than that, for, like dinner, I'll usually just stick to, burgers, pasta, and a vegetable, something I can do relatively quickly, but will fill me up. But lately, as I've had a little bit more time, I've just been trying new things.
We made some falafel. We tried to make falafel the other night, and it was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. We were just like, what's something we can throw together? We both agreed that we wanted to go vegetarian, so falafel felt like a natural, like a savory enough dish to make where it'd be satisfying yet healthy. Long story short, we needed a food processor to combine all the ingredients, and we didn't have one. We tried a blender, didn't work, resorted to mashing with our hands, which we thought worked when we were doing it, but then once we threw stuff in the oil, it just like fell apart. And then I tried to make like a pancake out of it, like the remaining falafel that we had, and that just ended up being like soggy, oily, and tasted good. The flavor was there, but the execution was not. And it felt like I had a rock in my stomach after we ate it.
Yesterday, I made my first ever pie. So that was because I was going through our pantry. I was bored. I was going through our pantry, and we had stale cookies. And so I just looked up recipes of things you can do with stale cookies. It turns out you can make a pie crust. So, I smashed them all up with a hammer. I went out and bought pie tins, mixed it up with butter and sugar. And then, the filling was a chocolate truffle cheesecake, so I had to get like cream cheese and all this other stuff that I never really actually cooked with before. And honestly, I thought it wasn't going to turn out great, but I think it went pretty well.
There was a lot of frustration that went into making it because we thought it would be a relatively quick meal, but it took a long time. We started cooking, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I don't think we ate until 9. So there's building frustration as we were going, but one thing that we did, which is a really good idea, was we called our friend Anna, and she kind of like got our heads out of the gutter because we were both getting visibly frustrated, like with the meal, with each other. Everything was just kind of falling apart. And yeah, the falafel falling apart in the oil kind of personified what was going on. But yeah, we just like were able to kind of calm ourselves down, remember what we were doing, and what we were doing was just cooking as friends, trying to enjoy ourselves, make a good meal. Obviously, it wasn't that good of a meal, but it was a good time. So I'm definitely trying to go out of my way to cook more with all this free time, because I think it's just a healthy way to spend my time, because there's other things I could be doing, I guess. Obviously, schoolwork comes first, but I could just be wasting away watching movies, playing video games. But I figured I'm going to need to eat for the rest of my life. Right? I'm probably gonna have a family at some point, and there's gotta be, I've had this thought in my mind, like there's gonna be some point in time where I can like kind of sit down and hone my skills in the kitchen. This is kind of becoming one of those times, just because there's nothing to do publicly. And this is just, everyone's cooped up at home, and if I'm at home and I've got a good kitchen to work with, what else would I be doing, This is the perfect time to do it because everybody eats. I love to get creative with my cooking. I really enjoy it. I think that cooking is a great way to express creative energy in a way that you can, like obviously, like if you paint something, you can look at it for the rest of your life and enjoy that. But if you cook something, you can eat it and you can taste it. And it's like the fruits of your labor pay off in a more satisfying way, in my opinion.
I'm sick of cooking.